reaction to a reaction to a reaction. Well, I didn't know anything about it, and I thought it was all over with. But Suit is still crying. He still won't leave me alone. He still can't deal with reality. Unfortunately, he's now shouting. Well, he's not the only one. Quite a few people seem to be shouting that they want notoriety to be flagged. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to flag you, dude. You're already broken. It'd be like me sort of attacking something that's already dead. Your proper channel's gone. You've got this streaming thing, but that'll only last for so long. There's people who hate you a lot more than I do. I just have a casual dislike for bullies. And I do consider you a bully. I consider you a bully because, well, not a bully in the form of sort of anything threatening. You're not a very threatening person, because most of your ideas seem to be completely based on the logic that you're some sort of normal guy. But then when I break it down and think about, you know, how you seem to pick on transsexual people, it starts making me wonder, are you still a virgin? Are you questioning your own sexuality? Is it more blouse yourself than suit yourself? That's what I have to wonder. But it's nice to see also that Tonkasaw is now dying. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, he's constantly attacking people who have a slightly different opinion to him, especially Mundane Matt. I didn't think it'd be Mundane Matt, because Mundane Matt is pretty much a nice guy. He says a lot of shit, but he's pretty much a nice guy. But oh my god, the community strikes are building, and pretty soon the Kumite will be dead. Good. Besides, most of all these shitlords are going to be gone soon anyway, because the TOS has changed. They've made it pretty clear with monetization that they don't want lots of shitlords on their site anymore. And who would? You know, it was because of shitlords that a lot of people voted for fucking Trump. And the one thing that I have to say about pretty much all these shitlordy people is that they talk big, they talk tough, with all this stuff. If your words are so important, if your opinions are so prescient, why don't you start your own website then? It's not very difficult now. You can even buy templates for websites. But pretty much, I think most of it's laziness. Like the whole Tonka, I'm a businessman thing. He's not a businessman. He's probably unemployed or unemployable. And, oh, I can't concentrate on two things. They were awful. You know, I'm tempted to sort of flag him over stuff, but in the end, really, what would I be flagging? I'd be flagging a sad Jewish guy who thinks he's a Native American. But I've already got, well, not many of his fan base yelling and screaming like somehow it's my fault. I haven't watched a Kumite video since probably since December time. Mainly because they're so incredibly boring. And Tonka either goes from being really excited and yelling to having no energy at all. Some people say it's because he's a manic depressive, but I think it's that he takes drugs. He does sound like someone who is taking something like, say, crystal meth. But in the end, again, none of it matters because he's such a completely pointless person. Most of his opinions are other people's opinions, because if you watch his show, he picked up on opinions of others and he sort of made them into his own because he's incredibly boring.
Keep that for later.
You know, he's a man who talks about his achievements but shows no evidence of his achievements. It's like his amazing wrestling career that he bullshitted everyone about, that he was some sort of player. And I'm like, well, no. He was like a sort of backyard wrestler who became like a Z-list jobber. I think the most amazing thing was when it was I haven't watched the video because it's not on YouTube. I'm certainly not going to scour the rest of the internet for it. But I've seen the picture of him boasting about being with Jesse James Armstrong, Road Dogg, who his career was made up mostly of sort of being the really he should have been a manager, he should have been a wrestler, because his wrestling talents were very, very bad compared to his brother Brad Armstrong, who was like a sort of super worker, could do practically every style going. But boasting about being the jobber to someone whose only real talent was microphone skills. I don't know. Really, I find most of these YouTube people now, the shit lords, the skeptics, the unskeptical skeptics, basically really sad people who can't let go. They can't let go to the fact that, you know, the world has moved on. It's funny because it's not a new thing either. A lot of sort of internet Christians are the same, like G-Man. I'd say Suit is basically G-Man. Someone who can't admit that YouTube Christians lost. They lost a long time ago. But he'll still keep up all the Kent Hovind arguments. Kent Hovind.
Isn't tight strong enough.
So I'm sure that Suit will be crying about something else. I actually feel sorry for his mother because she must have to listen to all of this big conspiracy theory that him being a complete shit is somehow of some value beyond people smiling at his videos. The most interesting was some anonymous idiot who I've never met on Twitter was saying, oh, you don't know what it's like to lose someone. I'm like, Yeah, you obviously haven't looked at any of my videos from 2015. There's a surprise. There's a surprise. Building a huge comparison to something that doesn't, you know... I lost my dad to cancer, thank you very much. And it wasn't an easily treatable cancer. It was cancer of the pancreas, and my dad died in quite a lot of pain. So please don't come crying to me, oh, you just don't understand. I fucking do understand. But I didn't use it as a shield to stop myself being criticised. Actually, Sue and my dad would probably get on very well, because my dad was very right-wing, and he didn't even believe that gay people should be able to adopt children, so yeah. Yeah, he never found out I was bisexual either, because I just didn't want the headache of having to explain it to him. It was hard enough explaining to him about me having OCD and me having dyslexia. He used to think it was laziness. It's not laziness, Dad, I've got dyslexia. Oh, that sounds like an excuse. I'm like, well, it's not an excuse.
Seems like a good...
But, yeah. My dad was very much of the generation he was born in the 1950s. Also, being a Catholic didn't help. Catholicism's actually got a lot in common with Islam in that respect, that it purports to be a whole lifestyle choice, and this way I prefer the Anglican Church, because the Anglican Church, it's pretty silly, but it's not telling me that my whole life is just a pretense, that really I should be devoting my life to Catholicism, and that the Pope is somehow my driving instructor. Oh, my fuck, alarm's going off. Actually, what's really funny is I wouldn't have even known about this reaction to my video if I hadn't... Well, I noticed Schmeckle was taking the piss out of me, but I don't mind Schmeckle, because, well, he can be quite funny, and I think that really what he lacks is confidence. I think if he had a little bit more confidence, he could break completely with the whole shitlords and be doing... He actually reminds me quite a lot of Evan LaFavor, who I'm a huge fan of, who he lives his character. Very much like Casey Tron as well, lives her character. But Schmeckle seems to have doubts about himself. It's a shame, really, because he's very funny, especially when he's very drunk. Bit like how ContraPoints used to be when she was just called Nicotine. And she'd get... Well, when she was a he, would get very, very drunk and be talking about all sorts of interesting stuff. I have to avoid getting drunk because I get emotional, especially over my dad. But, yeah. That and I lose all tolerance of right-wingers. It's one of the reasons why I don't go to leaving dues at work. Because when I was with the post office, there was a very right-wing piece of shit manager who used to say things to get a rise out of people, thinking he was hilariously funny, and he wasn't always. And
so much more exciting to keep it all
I got very, very drunk on vodka, which is like my sort of red kryptonite. All my niceness and charm goes out the window when I'm on vodka. So he wouldn't leave me alone. Kept saying stuff about John Smith in the Labour Party, and you know, old New Labour, they're just the Tories, all this stuff. And he wouldn't shut up, and then I shouted my head off at him what a fucking cunt he was, and everyone hates him. I can't actually remember any of this. I was told this by my workmates. He said, you went berserk, you look like the sort of Incredible Hulk screaming at the top of your lungs for him to fucking shut up. And he made his excuses and he left about 10 minutes later and everyone cheered.
All right, what now?
But I used to get into fights a lot when I was drunk on vodka.
Well, they still have a fire to keep me company. How nice of you to finally drop by.
Our purpose this night is to crash the Focus network.
Yeah, tell me the part I don't know. How?
For starters, you'll need to infiltrate the Eclipse's main base.
Wait, what?
That's right. Fortunately for you, I brought you around to the back way. It's right through that crevice. Once you reach the base, you'll see the objective. A derelict tallneck that's been extensively modified. Climb the tallneck. Grafted into the top of its disk, you'll find a module of sorts. Destroy that, and the Focus network will crash.
So you were part of the Eclipse?
I've never been part of anything. I serve my own interests, always. But it is the case that I assisted the Eclipse before I sensed the threat they might become. It was a mistake that I'm doing what I can to correct.
What sort of assistance did you give them?
Head through that crevice, Aloy. You have more important things to do than ask questions.
It's interesting though how certain, well, certain YouTubers who I had lots of respect for just sort of fell apart. It's like Dick Coughlan. I was a fan of Dick Coughlan, and then he was extremely rude to me on Twitter, and I thought, well, fuck you, mate. You know, I was even at one point considering putting money to his Patreon when he was doing all these shows about Jeremy Corbyn, and then he was, you know, it wasn't sort of just calling me a wanker or something. It was something he said that I'm not going to repeat here, but it wasn't very nice about members of my family. I'll just say that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to sort of impress on you that I'm not some fucking right-wing wanker? I'm like, for fuck's sake. I think it's just arsehole, really. I think he's an arsehole who hides in sort of being a socialist or being a liberal. Also, he just doesn't like being liked, I think. That's the other thing. Got to replay this at some point on hard. You know, there's some people that I really like on YouTube and Twitter who I don't agree with any of their politics. There's this fella called Ed who he does streams with Sir Sick, and I did have a bit of an argument with him on Twitter about Islam, but you know, I'll still watch him because he's unapologetic. He's not saying I'm like this because of this, and he's not sort of trying to carry favour with people by saying things. I was also very impressed with his reaction to Andy Warski, where he literally saw straight through Andy Warski immediately when he was on one of the Warski streams, that he could tell that the bloke was just trying to start fake drama with him, and it's not to achieve anything but, you know, super chat money, which is pretty much what Tonka is. That's all his MO is. It's not about debates. The Commentaries isn't a debate show. The Commentaries is nothing really but a toilet for scumfucks. A septic tank.
This won't go quietly.
Also, most of these shitlords, the main problem with them is, as well as not being able to move on, is that most of their stuff is virtually the same. It's always the same argument, and it's an argument that, you know, it's like someone arguing the case for God. Surely at some point it must hit home that shouting nonsense about Riley Dennis isn't going to change her opinion on being trans. You know, having a sex change, I think she's not going to agree with you. But, you know, if your life is devoted to sort of shouting at the ocean to go back like King Canute, carry on.
Just over this ridge. You can see it when you reach the
but don't think I'm going to give you a load of notoriety and flag your channel, because I'm not. Because really, going through all of that palaver with my email and my address, I don't want to go through it. It seems like a waste of time.
Damn. The transmitter has been moved. Check down the ravine to the left.
Besides, YouTube's going to do that soon anyway. Writing's on the wall, mush.
You got
But
exactly
being
one
a
shot at this thing, Pofit, so spare
shitlord and
the
a
sarcasm
bully
and make it count.
isn't going to get you anywhere
See
on
that
YouTube
bridge
soon.
over the ravine?
You're probably going to be
Memorize its location.
shadow banned
There's a rappel point on
and
the side. That'll
be
be your way out.
shouting
And
just
the
to your
Cliffs
fan base,
Or
which,
kill them, your choice.
you know, I've never
blast
seen
station
any
cover any more
reaction from
Find the
any of the
tall man and
trans
destroy the
people
module on
who
top.
you seem to have such a massive problem with. You know, there are trans people who talk shit. You know, I don't like Cat Black because Cat Black seems to say stuff that is purposely incendiary. But the reality is that if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
I'm going in.
You know, it's the same argument you could put forward for people being offended by things.
Incoming! Die!
Oh, bugger. What's me all this?
Shadow you! Get down! Farewell, fool! The sun can't save you now.
Is there fighting up ahead?
Yeah.
It's a mining operation. So long as you're quick, it won't affect you.
Oh good, another secret.
Bit of crafting. Oh, I think I'll change my weaponry around. Oh. Inventory. Oh, dear mate.
Save this for later. What is this place?
A distraction.
There are several data points.
My lord, the 13th king of the Karja Sundom was murdered. Cut down by cowards who mistook firm rule for madness. So long as King Itamen languishes at Sunfall, coddled... So long as King Itamen languishes at Sunfall, coddled by his mother, he will never learn the true lessons of the sun.
Uh-oh. How do we get over this? Oh. I have to climb. Oh.
He's a fanatic, all right. Single-minded.
It gives him a focus that you seem to lack. Now how about finding that tall neck?
have been easy to drag the tonic down this path. Why bother?
Just find it and get to the top. Destroy the module and then
Really,
get out
what
fast as
makes
you
me
can.
laugh the
Sure is a
most
lot of blasting up there.
is
Sounds busy.
how so many of these
Busy enough
people
not to
have
notice
been
you,
saying
let's
that,
hope.
I see
oh,
it's
we should be right wing, we should be this, we should be that, we should be the other.
Climate. The sooner this is
But-
done, the better.
In the end, they haven't really...
wrong.
Really, all they've achieved is a way to make their politics seem really ugly by being all shitty at people, and that is actually is working against them. It's not a plus; it's a minus. In the UK, you know, Carl has been yelling and screaming about how evil Corbyn is and all that. Jeremy Corbyn's not the one who's going to be bringing in anti-behavioural...
I see the module.
I can't remember what... basically, it's an ASBO. But these new ASBOs are going to be designed to block people from using the
Aloy,
internet.
This is not the time.
A metal devil.
Open
So,
the module's
at
casing
some point...
now. Aloy, do as I say
Well,
or all is lost.
I think Carl's only hope is if he moves to America, because it's certainly not going to be. Whoa!
Entity has come here. Entity miscalculated. Entity cannot destroy me. I am beyond its reach.
Maybe you are. But this isn't!
Wait.
Destroy the entity.
Whoa!
Keep moving or you'll die.
Great trail. Yeah, you think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap?
Come on, thumbs, don't fail me now.
Kidding me? Almost there. Oh, come on.
Run, don't fight.
What?
Head left towards the camp.
Got it. Almost out of it.
I'm done. Am I done?
The whole base is on high alert.
Yeah, I noticed.
Keep moving. Watch out, more eclipse.
Bridge in sight.
That's the way out.
I know.
Oh shit! Pressed the wrong button. Bollocks. Really, the people who are going to inherit YouTube won't be the antis or the, whatever they call themselves now. The skeptics or whatever the fuck ever.
Are you kidding me?
And it won't be the SJWs, the real people who are going to inherit YouTube
Almost out of it.
are the capitalists.
The whole base is on high.
Yeah, I noticed.
You know, it is a capitalist system. It's not. The market doesn't give a fuck about your politics as long as it sells things.
I know.
You know, it's like film. In the 1970s, there were brilliant movies like Serpico and Apocalypse Now and The Godfather. These were all made by artists. But look at cinema today. You know, the Han Solo movie's gone through 4 different directors. It's a very simple case of, in the end, your opinions don't really count. It's like your votes really don't count. It's why all those people who thought that they were being rebellious and clever by voting in Trump.
And you sent me to him?
I won't deny I risked your life, but it was the only way. Now, with the focus network down, we can both get what
they
we
were
want.
voting for someone
Access to
who
the secrets of
has
Zero
no
Dawn.
ideas.
I'm past trusting you with secrets.
Good. That means you're wising up. Trust is for fools. It shifts and crumbles like sand. A poor foundation for any partnership. But mutual self-interest. Now that is a solid bedrock upon which you and I might...
You know, being anti-Hillary, yeah, I was anti-Hillary's personality and her politics, but the reality is, you can either go with the mainstream people who know what they're fucking doing, or you can go with a complete idiot who seems to make it up as he goes along, changes his mind every 5 minutes.
But we both know I need it. Sunfall it is. And Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Trump's terrible. It's the best advert possible for maybe disenfranchising a large majority of the idiot vote. Because if they're going to vote in someone that policy light, well, he didn't have any policies. The only real sort of policy decision that I heard, which was completely bonkers, was the wall. But he hasn't even got enough money for that. Still, I do laugh every time he talks about the wall on Twitter. I put the tweet, well, if it's so important, why don't you pay for it? Never going to get an answer there, because Trump doesn't want to pay for things. He's like most millionaires. He's a greedy piece of shit.
I'm glad that's over with.
Really,
Thanks for the
it'll
help.
never be built. It's like the Star Wars program with Ronald Reagan costs out like,
Come on over here and have a word.
I think it was over 200 billion in the end, and they didn't even build one laser
Come on, what are you
satellite.
waiting for?
Oh.
What, you don't
What
feel
are you
like
doing out
talking?
here all alone? Where are your men?
I'm not gonna risk their lives. I don't mind putting my worthless ass on the line, but not theirs. Sorry I had to drag you into it.
Don't worry. This is just an average day for me. You know, take down some machines, track some killers.
Right. I'd hate to see a busy morning for you. Ready to get started?
Tell me exactly what happened to Ursa. Start from the beginning.
No one knows for sure. She left in the middle of the night with a few of her best men.
Her best men. But she didn't bring you?
No. I'd been drinking a lot. Or maybe she thought... damn, I don't know. I couldn't hack it. Search parties found their bodies the next day, and the corpses of some Shadow Carja cowards. It was an ambush. The Shadow Carja are animals. They beat her so bad we can't even show her face before burial.
I'm so sorry, Erend.
Yeah, well, when I find the soldiers who did this, they'll be sorry too.
You don't have any idea why she left in the middle of the night?
No. But it must have been urgent. A message, a report of some new Shadow Carja threat, I don't know.
Why would the Shadow Carja do this?
Because they hate us. And Ursa most of all. She teamed up with Avad to kick their asses out of Meridian. They've been licking their wounds for 2 years, but they finally found a way to get back at her.
Are you sure you're all right?
Well, I'm sober, so no.
Well, I'm glad you're
I
thinking.
did actually have quite a nice
Don't get
comment
used
on
to
a video I did the other day, where someone was basically
Show me where Ursa fell,
sort
and
of
I'll do what I can to help.
Come on, follow me.
humorously trolling me by saying that my accent, I sound like someone from the League of Gentlemen, basically. That sort of trolling I don't mind. It's when people say stuff that is really hurtful and nasty and
It doesn't make sense.
just people being horrible bullies
Shadow Carja
and
territory?
No.
saying
They broke the
things
ceasefire
that
as
are,
soon as they set foot in.
if they said it to my face, they'd be picking up their teeth. But that's the nature of internet bullies. That they bully basically because they're on a machine, and they don't have to actually face their opponent. I do know that if I ever won the national lottery,
Hey, this
I'd
is
be
it.
getting on
We're the
lots of plane
ambush network.
rides to
Our soldiers have
lots
been
of
over it, but maybe
people
that
and
fancy artifact of yours, can you find a clue or something?
seeing them
Please.
face to face, whether they can,
I need to find out.
they're still confident.
This is the spot where we found Ursa. Where those devils beat her to death. I should have been here to fight with her.
Back to it.
Thanks.
Right, let's get my doodah out, see if there's any evidence left. Aha! What to
These
do?
look like
Yeah.
drag marks.
Oh, there's a fish. Something on wheels, maybe. Maybe a cart or something. Okay, got enough arrows. Yep. Give it another 10 minutes because I've got to go to work. I just thought I saw the reaction video and I just thought, you know, if he doesn't want to leave it, well, I won't leave it then. But his calling for me to flag his channel just shows you how weak and pathetic his position really is. It's quite sad, really. It's yeah, it feels to me that he's so desperate and lost that he'll say something like that.
Good. I can use this.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot, actually, of I was saying about Dick Coughlin. He had well, it wasn't really a feud. It was an ongoing thing with The Amazing Atheist, and
Those bloodstains.
the video is replayed many a time, where he is crying on camera.
It must be Shadow Carja.
Something I admittedly did when I was very, very drunk.
Strange. Just scratch on it.
Yeah, he's going, please leave me alone. And yeah, it's
Someone move a body through here.
What do you see there?
it's almost like a Thanos reaction.
Off the edge of something, like a cart. See, cart tracks. I think someone moved the bodies here, then scattered them across the field.
Wait, are you saying the dead found here were killed somewhere else? But why would the Shadow Carja do that?
At this point, I'm not taking it for granted that the Shadow Carja are responsible.
Of course they were.
Well, let's follow these tracks and find out.
Still, I that whole Thanos drive, I think, was really behind most of the support for Trump from the anti-SJWs. I certainly get that sensation when I heard people like Jeff Holiday sort of being pro-Trump, that it was a reaction not really for, it was against the whole.
These guys aren't Shadow Carja. They're from my tribe, the Asaram.
Is this how your people usually greet each other?
Got someone to fight here. From Meridian.
I got something for you.
Don't clump up. Spread out.
Must be some sort of satellite system. No. On the outside. Why is it pointing to something I can't get to? Oh, I see. It's over there.
What's that?
I think it's calling in machines. Get ready.
You're going down!
Ah! Got ya!
Asaram, not Shadow Karja. Looks like I was wrong about everything, as usual. Please, use that second sight of yours. I have to know what really happened.
I'm on it. Those rocks, they're shattered. Looks like you could mount some equipment on that thing. These look like Vanguard weapons. So much blood.
This not went net. That's a fox. Ah, what's that? Oh, it's a supply crate. Lit band.
There, by the tripod. A used power cell. What are those leather straps? Armor straps, cut with a knife, and a rock with blood on it. A lot of people died here. A massacre. Something hit these stones. Something I've never seen before. There's no blood on them. This is meant to fight back.
This is Ursa's helmet. I thought she died in the field below, but must have been here. All this trickery. For what? Feels like it's just to torture me.
I have a theory, but it takes a little imagination.
So far, your theories are better than other people's facts.
All right. I think the Oseram ambushed Ursa and her men with a new weapon. They mounted it on that tripod up there. It fires waves of force, maybe sound. Looks like it cracked the stone there. I think it paralyzes people instead of killing them. It dropped the Vanguard right there. No blood on their weapons. No fight.
But why paralyze them if you're only gonna move them and gut them?
They were trying to hide something. Look here, a bloody rock.
That they used to smash Ursa's face in.
Or someone else's. These leather straps have been cut, as if they took the armor off someone.
That can't be. Her body is lying in state in Meridian. I saw it.
You said she was unrecognizable. Maybe they switched another body into her armor, someone around the same size, and mutilated it enough, so it could have been anyone. Even Ursa. Go back to Meridian. Take another look at that body. If it's really Ursa, of course I'm wrong. But if I'm right...
Then my sister could be alive. I'm going. Meet me back there when you can.
Yeah, so this has been... It's a short video, yeah, but it's mainly I'm just a bit sort of... I'm not pissed off at it, I think that people being a shit to each other is on the way out. Can't say it's really helped much politics-wise. I think that the biggest YouTube attention I've ever seen from someone from the shitlords who actually got a little bit of attention was Saga and the Cad, but even that, it was him on a stage saying incredibly stupid things and getting a crowd of dribbling morons cheering it. You know, I think the funniest was when Ian Miles Chong he said that he's actually he's written for a British publication. We're having an argument on Twitter. I said, which one? And he said it was the Sun Online. Now the Sun newspaper is probably the most toxic of the Murdoch newspapers. It's a tabloid for morons. It's like, it's not some sort of, it's not like the Times or the Express.
Let's get on with it. The tracks apart. But this was tame and a bore.
Oh shit. Oh, it's blue.
Perfect. That would be Tame's ring.
Well, later tonight, I think I'll probably, well, probably be more tomorrow morning. I'm going to try and complete. Where am I trying to get to? Look at my map. Oh, well, I can fast travel to yeah, I'm gonna try and complete Far Cry 5 because I've got it on easy. So once I've completed it, I'm gonna replay it from on difficult.
Good hunting, I hope.
I've brought you the boar skins and your lucky ring, Tame.
All Mother be praised. And you, of course. Where did you find it?
Halfway down a boar's gullet. Not so lucky for the boar.
I think I'll wear it around my neck from now on.
Oh, actually, I want manual save. Well, I'll be off. I'm sure that the broken Australian will
This must be Mother's crowd.
react to me
Be around here somewhere.
at some point. Oh, but really, I don't care. Okay, see you later.